Great Friday. Actually, today is officially, finally, the last day of, what do they say? Winter? Whoa, hold on a second. Hold on. Yep, just as I suspected, we are the only yard in the entire neighborhood to still have snow. What is that all about? I mean, we must be like the coolest the coolest lot on the pillow or underneath the pillow, whatever it is. So sometimes we can be as cool as the other side of the pillow. Josh Gettig, let's go. Man, I appreciate you. And I appreciate everybody watching this here and just spending a few minutes of your time with me. And if you're watching this on replay, welcome to the replay. So, man, I've had a few days to really marinate this thought and then finally come up with the action to do a live on it, because thinking is such a powerful tool. Thinking is physical. And I mean, we're talking about the impact that a conversation makes. We're talking about the influence of just speaking to somebody that when they don't even know that they're creating an influence with you, it does. And it's happened to me several times this week. And I'm going to start with this. And here's the reason why I titled this live the way I did, is because I had my very first conversation with the very respected coach 𝗴𝗶𝗺𝗁. And I was very grateful for the time we spent together. And we were talking about things that really mattered and were very important to both of us. But at the end of our conversation, Kevin had asked me a question because he knows what my field is. He knows my experience. He was very generous in giving some tremendous compliment and recognition for some incredible people that have made massive transformation. I mean, 𝗴𝗶𝗿𝗁, Amy Izzo, just name a few, some incredible women. And so he asked me a question. He goes, Steve, what exactly do you do and how do you do it? I'm watching these transformations. I'm watching Amy Izzo transform. I'm listening to the stories. I'm hearing the dialogue. And then right there in that moment, and he has no idea that this happened, but it smacked me like a door in the face. And I'm thinking to myself, if Kevin doesn't know what I do, how I do it, how many other people don't know what I do and how I do it? And yes, Coach 𝗵𝗵𝗁, let me tell you, you are part of this conversation as well, because you even further opened my eyes to asking better and greater questions. So here's what happened. So as I'm having that conversation with him, I had no problem explaining. And again, it wasn't derogatory. He was simply just asking, hey, do you do group? Do you do one-on-ones? Do you do individuals? I don't do many, if any, one-on-ones anymore. My real passion is in group, like having a group of like-minded people that we can start unshedding beliefs and layers of self-doubt, and we can do it collectively in a group setting. And I've been really fortunate. Like 2020 was a great year for me because I chose for it to be a great year. As most people did, they became helpless. There was a lot of things that were uncertain. Things were shutting down. Things were not going the way that we expected in 2020. And when I become helpless, I want to become helpful. So I created a group. I created a platform, an opportunity for people to discover some of their greatness and what they really want to accomplish in their life. So why am I sharing this? I'm sharing this because if Kevin didn't know what I do or how I do it, I can't assume people to understand how my brand is going to be able to expand and enhance their life. I have to tell people. And then I sat back and I reflected, and I'm like, I mean, this is what I do every day. Like, I live, eat, breathe health, fitness, wellness, mindset, habit changing, shifting, transformation, you name it. But my audience needs to hear, like when I'm going on lives and I'm talking about my inspirational minutes, or I'm discussing something that's gonna make an impact with people, like I really want to be clear on what I do. Well, first off, here's what it is. Here's what I really came down to. I asked myself, who am I? What do I do? Who do I help? and how do I help them? So those 4 components. First off, who am I? Well, my name is 𝗵𝗁'𝘁. So if you're on this page watching this, then you know essentially who I am. Maybe you were referred to me. I've been in a lot of Facebook friend requests, so maybe you're seeing me for the first time. I am a performance coach. Like, I just help people take them from where they're at and self-discover to where they want to be. And I've been deemed, gratefully, this is an honor to be a mind and body architect. So I am passionate about you living in your best body and mind to the greatest of your potential. Nobody else's potential, it's your potential. So that's what gets me excited. That's who I am. And then what do? Again, I just help people discover their greatest self. I guide them to discover what their greatest self is through introspection, through awareness, through community. Environment is everything. You show me your environment, I will predict your future. It's just like your habits. If you show me what your habits are, I will predict your future. There's no question. And then, who do I help? Which I'm going to get to in a moment, because that's where I got some clarity from Coach 𝗵𝗵𝗁𝘁, from 𝗴𝗶𝗶𝗁𝘁, Josh Geddig, from 𝗴𝗶𝗵𝗁𝗁, 𝗵𝗵𝗁𝘁, where we're in this another incredible room of conversation that happens on Wednesday afternoons, and they really helped me shed some of even my limiting beliefs of where my ideal person that I'm helping. Because if you know me long enough, you sort of understand that I feel like I want to help everybody. But I had to sit back and I'm not for everybody. Like, I'm sort of a unique specimen. Like, I'm not designed to do that. Maybe it's how I behave or how I act, or, my approach, my methodologies, whatever it is. And here's what I also know is that it's not enough to be at the right place at the right time. You have to be the right person at the right place at the right time. And that's where I am patient enough to attract those right people into my life so that they can finally start discovering who and what they desire to be to their potential. And that's what makes this exciting. So again, I'm going to get to who that is in a second, but then how do I help these people? How do I help these humans when it comes to them making that real decision? And how do you know you made a real decision? Because you take immediate action. You just take immediate action and say, you know what? I am no longer going to tolerate the way I look, the way I feel, the way I'm behaving, the way that my emotions are. We have control of most of all those things, and I help guide you through that process. So back in 2020, in April, I created a 90-day sprint. And since then, it's transformed. It's really converted, let's say, into an accountability sprint, a transformation sprint. And so grateful to be connected with these amazing humans, because what this course does in 90 days, this course is designed to allow you and guide you to observe what your thinking is, your ways of thinking. It helps challenge your limiting, non-supportive, non-serving beliefs. It helps with your shifting of habits. It certainly works on your mindset. And by the way, when somebody says, I want to change my mindset, here's what I think, and here's what I hear. I hear that they want to change a habit. And so that's where we lean into is habit. And then, of course, it's going to be the actions and the behaviors that you're taking that are going to create the healthier version of you. And it's going to do a complete overhaul of your overall lifestyle. So that's what the course does. In 90 days, we make a massive impact. I could probably even call it a 30-day sprint, and there would be some massive impact in how I can interact and how I can engage with my ideal person that's ready to make that transformation. So that essentially is once you're ready, it's once you're ready and you have a greater vision of who you want to be and who you choose to be, we can get going. We can start moving, but we can't even begin if you don't have a vision of what is possible for you. And I can help you with that. There's no question. So then I asked per 𝗵𝗵𝗁𝘁, again, Josh Geddig, 𝗴𝗶𝗵𝗁𝘁, Amy Izzo, 𝗴𝗶𝗿𝗁𝗁𝗁, who we had this conversation, and I said, all right, who who is the person that I'm going to align best with? Because again, it's a mutual participation. I want to enjoy working with you as much as you enjoy working with me. And trust me, I don't always enjoy working with everybody. But we start from a place. So in order to be great, you have to be good. In order to be good, you have to be sort of rough around the edges. So I'll meet you where you're at, but I also won't start your engine for you. I'll meet you halfway. So my ideal person, here's who I've attracted. Here's who I've gravitated towards. It's business professionals. It's business professionals that somewhere in their life, they have a success code. They have the characteristics to run an efficient business, or they have phenomenal relationships, but they haven't connected the dots per se with how their characteristics are going to allow them to create a healthier version or life for themselves. So I help connect those dots. So typically, not everybody, but they're business professionals. And they're struggling. They're struggling in their health. They're suffering in silence. And they're reaching out for help. Like they've almost to the point, and here's what I've heard most. Hey, Steve, I've tried it all. I've tried every workout program. I've tried all the nutrition plans. I've tried keto. I've tried the intermittent fast. I've tried it all. I need help. And I've heard that your transformation program has very little. It is a small fraction. Losing connection there. It's a small fraction of the doing. It's the becoming. Who are we being? What are the characteristics that we need to have so that it can align with our actions? Because our doing, what we're doing out there, all these different things that you said, I've done it all these things are only as effective as the being, you doing the doing. So if it's not the doing aspect, it's who you're becoming. And that's where we're going to align. So that is the person I'm attracted to. That's the person I'm aligned with. And essentially it's the person, if I really think about it, it's the person that understands that their health is more important than I'm not going to say than they thought it was, but their health is a catalyst. It is a bridge that's going to support all the other pieces in their life. Like every other avenue of their life becomes better once their health starts improving. But essentially, like I said, it's going to come from the inside out. So our transformation happens from the inside out. And we can't have a healthy outside. All this here, all the healthy outside that, the appearance that I'm aesthetically fit, all that doesn't happen unless I am healthy on the inside first. And I'm not talking about what I'm eating, but I'm talking about what I'm thinking and what my beliefs are and the stories I tell myself and what my identity is and all those great things. So that is how refreshing to actually just sort of rebrand everything and say, all right, here's who I am, here's what I do, here's who I help, and here's how I help them. So if this is something that you want to entertain or you're curious about, listen, come join our Promise Keeper community, because that's what it is, the Promise Keeper community. It's a conversation we have on Friday nights at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. Come be my guest. Just drop a message below, send me a Facebook Messenger message, send me a pigeon messenger, whatever you want to do. As long as it gets here by 4:45 p.m. so I can send you over the link so we can do a Zoom, I'm okay with that. But any other questions? Our thoughts and believe? Yes, Gail, you are on point. And go follow Gail. Go stalk Gail. I saw Josh on here. I saw 𝗵𝗿𝗁 on here. Go stalk these people because they make as much of an influence and positive impact on my life as I trust I do for them. So it's iron sharpens iron, just as one human sharpens another human. Once you're ready, and again, it's not being at the right place at the right time. All this might sound great. Hey, I'm really looking to make a change. I'm looking to make a shift. I'm looking to transform. By the way, how do we define transformation? That's important too. How do you define things? How do you define success? How do you define transformation? Transformation for me is easy. Transformation is a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. That's how I define transformation. So if you can't define what that means to you, that's where we start. Where's that going to make the biggest impact? So, yeah, buddy, Josh is still with me, man. I, again, appreciate you. Gail Zintek, love you. Thank you for making those inspired possibilities with everybody in our world. And if you're ready to go take on this Friday, prepare for the first day of spring tomorrow. We're going to spring into the best versions of ourselves. As a matter of fact, I should probably do that. Let me make an announcement because we're just closing out. If you're watching this all the way till here, thank you. And again, if you're just catching it now, go back to the beginning because I woke up this morning with some vigor and I was like, you know what? People need to know what I do and they need to know how I do it because it really is contagious. But we're closing out the current 90-day sprint next week. And then the first week of April, we are starting the next 90-day sprint. So what would it do for you if your spring, 90 days, you just locked in and made a real commitment to yourself, a non-negotiable commitment? How do you know it's non-negotiable, by the way? How do you know that the commitment you made is non-negotiable? Because it's not up for discussion. You just say, I'm doing this. I'm not making excuses. I'm not wavering. And my attention, I am where my attention is. And my attention is going to be right where my commitment is. So I am opening up enrollment the last week of this month of March for beginning of April. So if you want in, I only have 25 spots open. I'm not sure how many I have open now because I know people are already jumping in saying, hey, I want a spot, I want a place, I want to make a change. 2021, this is my year. Yeah, but it doesn't matter how long it's been. It's never too late to make a transformation in your life. And I'm talking about sustainable transformation. I know I'm long-winded here. I just get excited because I know what your potential is. I know what you're capable of. I know you can do it. I believe in you. I believe that your best, greatest, healthiest days are still ahead of you. So let me know, please, how I can guide you. How can I assist you? So that way you do live your best, greatest, not just months, years, but I'm talking about an entire lifetime, a lifestyle that's sustainable. I'm not talking about silver bullet, short term, quick fix. I'm talking about real change from here to here to here. Anyway, I appreciate you. Open enrollment starts next week. Drop me a message. If you want to get into our conversation tonight, it'll be fire tonight. It's going to be awesome. Drop me a message and I'll get you into the Zoom link. It's from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're ready to go, say let's go and let's make today, this weekend, one worth repeating.